episode number 7 of Lyon and the Truth with your host, Lyon. I'm here right now with a special young man, a special young guest by the name of Josiah Matoyer. Josiah, how are you feeling today, man?
Feeling a little bit tired, but I'm just feeling happy to be with you guys and you, of course.
All right, well... Once again, thank you guys for checking us out today on this beautiful Monday, November 18th, episode 7 once again. Wanted to say a couple announcements before we get started. Number one, wanted to give a big congratulations to Diana Orellana. Diana won the free bottle of rum coqui. We got it to her at her job on Saturday. It was amazing. We got her in trouble with her job. And she got herself a free bottle of rum coqui simply for being amazing and posting, sharing, all the good stuff. Speaking of winning, all week we have been advertising that if you listen today, you have the chance of winning a free microblading session. Okay, so it's real simple. 2 weeks ago, we sat with during the last episode of Lyon and the Truth, we sat with Moxie Allure owner Kristen McCaffrey. She talked about growing up on the Chicago's Northwest Side. So here's your question, all right? You don't have to run and look for it now. Stick around, pay attention, watch the show. The question is, what park did me and Kristen first meet? Don't answer that. I don't know if you know it, but don't answer it. You guys answer it. Inbox Lyon and the Truth at facebook.com/Lyon and the Truth. Inbox, and just any rando is going to win a free microblading session. That's $700 value. That sounds like a lot, doesn't it?
That's probably how much money of everything I have.
I bet you it is. All right, now, so as you guys know, this is a live show. It's a live show and things happen, right? We get together on every other Monday, and I bring people here on set, and all week we've been talking about Jessie Fuentes, co-chair of the Puerto Rican Agenda. Unfortunately, due to emergency, she was unable to join us today. But don't be sad, don't fret. I got an amazing co-host with me today who's going to be filling in for Jessie, the Puerto Rican co-chair. The co-chair of the Puerto Rican Agenda. And that's my amazing son, Josiah. How you feeling again? Feeling good?
I'm tired.
You feeling tired?
I'm just happy to be with you guys.
All right. Join us, guys. Today we're going to be talking to my son, Josiah. And December 2nd, we have Joey Villagomez, a Chicago comedian who did some recent work with Bill Burr. December 16th, we're going to be speaking to MMA fighter Franco Lozano. And December 30th, we're going to be talking to Joe Mendy and Renier Rosario from Afincao, Salceros from Chicago. I'm really excited about it. Are you excited?
I'm having a blast.
You're having a blast. All right. Well, first and foremost, guys, I want to introduce you guys to my blood, my flesh and bone. Give it up for Josiah. Josiah, thank you for being here. How old are you? What grade are you in?
I'm in 4th grade, and I recently turned 10th on the 29th of October.
That's your birthday, huh? Do you know your sign? You know your astrological sign?
I'm a Scorpio.
You're a Scorpio. Has anybody ever told you what Scorpios are known for?
No.
No. Anybody watching on Facebook? Oh, by the way, for those of you guys who are watching live, you could share this, do that whole watch party thing. If you have friends that are down to follow, watch party at Facebook it, YouTube it, whatever the case is. Yeah. So for those of you guys who are watching, if you know anything about Scorpios, hit us up with that. You currently have straight A's, don't you? Tell me about that, man.
It's just different. From the transition.
That's a big word, transition.
From the transition to 3rd to 4th grade, the semester has been really different because my math teacher was recently pregnant and she's.
Ooh, his math. There's a joke in there, but I'm gonna keep it very PG. So your math teacher got pregnant. Transition's tough, right? Because of that. I got some of your mom's hair on my face. And so you're getting straight A's now, right? 4.0 average?
Well, what I really think is when there's a substitute teacher, we basically get first grade packets.
So you're doing the work of first graders, right?
In reading class, I'm actually getting fourth grade work. And reading is my number one skill.
Your number one skill set.
It's been different not having my regular teacher and having a substitute every single day for months.
But you've been killing it because you're getting all A's, right? And what happens in this house when you get all A's?
You buy me one thing that I really want.
You can buy you one thing that you really, really want, right? So you got the straight A's. What are you going to ask for?
That's a big question.
That's a good question, right?
Let's go back to the one later.
You gonna come back to it? Dang, he put me on hold. All right, so was there a teacher? Let me ask you a question. So the straight A thing is tough, and I'm sure there's a lot of parents out there who have their kids at home who might be getting good grades too, or there's probably parents out there who are not getting good grades, right? Who are struggling with their child. Do you think that a teacher? I know you mentioned it a little bit, but do you think that a teacher plays a big difference in your grades?
100%.
100%. What are some things that teachers do, the successful ones, that really get the most out of you? What do you think?
I feel like this might be an uncommon opinion, but I feel like when you have lower grades, it's usually because you're getting challenged. So, and let's say you have like a D or a C or F. Maybe you should maybe it's your teacher is challenging you to the point where it's too much. And sometimes it's good to get easier teachers. But
do you think it's good to have an easy teacher?
No.
No?
Because pretty soon we're having the state test. And we're not learning what we need to learn when we're having.
That's tough. That sets you up for failure. So it's pretty obvious that a teacher who's not prepared and who's not doing their job and maybe not even challenging you is setting you up to fail in the future, right? So those for all you parents who are teachers out there, or all you teachers who are watching, you hear that first from a 10-year-old. It's huge to be prepared, right? Prepared and ready. What's it? The base. All right. So what do you think makes a good teacher for you personally?
I really like teachers that listen to children. Because I feel like there's some teachers like, I have better things to worry about.
Yeah.
When there might be a really big question that teachers help. And I really like positive teachers.
That's really good. Teachers that are positive. I like that.
Teachers that are always smiling. Teachers that are uplifting. Teachers that
are positive, uplifting.
And have great characteristics. And
How about good-looking teachers? Does that help at all?
No.
So it doesn't help at all that your teacher's good-looking?
I didn't have any.
You didn't? So all your teachers are ugly? Is that what you're saying? Are you saying all your teachers are ugly?
Yes.
Ooh, I'm telling all your teachers now. All your teachers, I'm going to let them know. All right, so how would you describe yourself in 5 words? Give me 5 words you think these are the words that it sums me up.
Intelligent.
Intelligent, first one.
Skinny,
all right. Athletic. Yeah.
Let's see. That's a really good question. Hardworking.
That's a good one. I would agree with that.
Smelly.
And smelly. Papi, you're on live social media, whatever this is. There's a lot of the womans watching. You don't want them.
I don't care.
You don't want them to. You want them to know that you're smelly.
Yes.
Well, I don't want them to know that my son is smelly. So let me ask you a question. What is the most wonderful thing that has ever happened to you?
Probably when you guys got married.
Oh, you're talking about when me and Mom got married.
Yes.
That was probably the best day of my life. What was amazing about it? Was it how I looked in the suit?
No.
I looked kind of fly in the suit, didn't I? You looked fly in your suit.
It just, Um, you guys, I know it's crazy to think about when I first met you, how I acted. I was a brat.
You were a brat. You weren't a brat. A couple cocotazos and that all changed. You just had you know what it is? I had to shake it loose inside of you. That's what it was. I had to grab you by the neck and shake it loose. Okay, so one of the best times of your life was the wedding. You mean the actual wedding day?
Yep.
That was one of the best days
August
of my life.
11, 2018.
August 11, 2018. I'll never forget it either. How about what is the worst day of your life?
When my aunt.
If you want to share it, you don't have to share it if you don't want to.
When my aunt passed away, my aunt Cheeky, it was really sad.
Yeah, so we had an aunt in the family that did pass away due to medical reasons, and it was very sad because you were really close to her, even though she was living in Puerto Rico, or then Florida, right? You talk to her all the time. So you're 10. I think a lot of times people out there think that children who are 10 or younger don't really feel it when a parent or a close family member dies or passes away. Can you speak on that a little bit? How did it make you feel?
That makes me feel a little bit disappointed.
Yeah.
Because I know that a lot of parents believe that children don't understand a lot of things, are immature in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
And aren't ready for certain situations. And I feel like from listening to my peers, and other people that are children, I feel like parents in general should let their children speak in what's going on in their minds.
Yeah.
Like, even though I might always ignore you guys sometimes, like nothing when you guys ask me how was my day. It really helps. It helps me because something really bad might happen in your day.
Right.
Like, you could have got hit. Something really bad could have happened.
Yeah. So it's important that you feel listened to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, emotionally, you might not see the children crying because someone passed away.
Yeah.
But inside, it might really hurt them.
Yeah.
But I feel like a lot of children have a hard time expressing their feelings.
I agree. I definitely agree. And I think it helps when a parent can help navigate through those feelings, right? I'm really glad you said that. It makes me feel really confident that I think here you have a pretty good place to speak your mind. Yeah. So let me ask you a question. You not recently, but last year, you won the African American Trivia Bowl at your school, right? Yeah. I'm talking about the entire school.
Yeah.
Not just like your grade. Like you were in a team, or was it by yourself?
It started off as teams, and then at the final round, it was solo.
Okay. And then you won. So you won like the whole thing.
Yep.
So obviously, I think everyone out there knows it's hard to do that, right? To beat your entire school at something.
Sorry.
How did you do that? No. So, but more so, what I'm really interested in finding out is you're in a school that has
like 500 kids.
Yeah, like 500 kids, and there's a large population that might be African American. And here you are, Puerto Rican and Mexican, and you win the African American Trivia Bowl. How did that make you feel?
The really thing...
Just speak right there, papas.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
The thing that happened was I have a rivalry with another kid in my class. His name is Elijah.
Elijah, we're coming at you, Elijah. If you're watching. I'm just kidding, Elijah. Elijah's parents, we didn't mean that way. Go ahead.
I really like him, and I always hang out with him.
So it's a friendly rivalry.
I would explain our relationship more like frenemies.
Frenemies?
But we always get along. Mm-hmm. But when it comes to competition in an educational way, me and him are always
at each other's throats. You guys are competing.
So it's either I win or he wins.
If you're Jordan, who is Elijah?
No. It's more like...
So if you were Michael Jordan, who is the rival? Like who is Elijah?
Like Isaiah Thomas.
Oh, you brought up Isaiah. All right, okay, Isaiah Thomas. I get it. Yeah, there's a rivalry there.
But as you might think that if you're a rival with someone, you can't. It's hard to get along.
Yeah.
But even though we have that rivalry,
yeah,
we still get along.
You guys are very competitive, but you guys have a lot in common.
Yes.
Awesome. Let me ask you a question. If you could, I keep saying, let me ask you a question. I should just ask questions, right?
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question. So, if you could travel back in time 3 years and visit the younger version of Josiah, what advice would you give yourself?
It's a great question.
Thank you. I really appreciate that, son. I worked really hard at coming up with these questions.
To be more respectful to my peers.
To your peers? You feel like maybe then you weren't?
I feel like back then, I feel like I'm still cocky now.
Cocky?
But I was really cocky like then because I was like a lot higher than other students in my class.
Like, oh, you mean like your grades?
Grades,
behavior,
everything.
Like, okay.
So
you were doing better. You were more successful, right, amongst your peers.
And I would kind of rub it in their face.
Okay.
And they didn't like that.
Okay, so you're saying like if you would go back, that's what you would change.
Yes.
That makes sense. Would you make any different friends?
A lot, probably.
Probably a lot of different friends. What are you most grateful for?
You and Mom.
Oh, son.
And I'm being honest too. I'm not trying to be biased. I'm honest.
So you're grateful for me and Mom. Is there anybody else in your circle of friends or family you're very grateful for?
My grandma. She's really helped me a lot.
Yeah, I agree. It's funny. When I was growing up, I didn't have. I've told you this many times. I didn't have a great relationship with my grandparents per se. But you, oh my gosh, you're like besties with grandma. All your grandparents, they talk to you more than they talk to me. Yeah, it's probably because you're cuter. You don't think I'm cute? That was the worst attempt of a whistle I think I've ever heard.
It was just hard because I was laughing.
Watch your hands.
Wait, let me try that again without laughing.
Okay, go ahead.
My lips are dry.
Yeah, you gotta do the face too. Well, look at the camera and do it. The people who are watching live can't see it.
I can't do it.
What do you think your life will be like in the future?
I think that I would have a very successful life. I'm not gonna say that I'm gonna be stupid rich or a billionaire or millionaire.
You should shoot for it.
I hope so. But I feel like I would be like a lawyer or a good job like that.
Yeah.
Have a good life.
Yeah, I agree. What do you want to do? Like right out of college, what do you think you'd want to get into?
I would like to be
Speak right there, buddy.
A baseball player, a football player, or a basketball player. One of the three. Or I would like to be a social worker like you. Or I would like to be, what is it called? I would like to be a lawyer as well.
Why do you think you want to get into law?
Because...
You put people in jail? Is that what you want to do?
No. I feel like... I feel like... I'm not trying to be biased for myself. But I just feel like I know the difference between right and wrong very well. Yeah. And I know the difference what's fair. I might say it's not fair, but that's because I'm in the moment right now and I just blurt things out sometimes.
Sometimes it doesn't stop right here in the brain. It just comes out, right?
Yeah.
What is it like having a crazy man as a dad?
It's actually amazing.
You're just buttering me up, aren't you?
No, I'm not.
No, you're not.
I'm being 100% honest, no bias.
No bias.
No bias.
Got it. No bias.
It's amazing because you always talk bad about yourself. You're a great person.
Thank you, buddy.
You're a great person.
Yeah.
And I feel like sometimes you come down on yourself too much, and you're like, I'm such a crappy person. You're an amazing person. you really helped me a lot.
Oh my gosh, it's gonna start coming out. It's gonna start coming out. Well, there's a reason why. I think there's a reason why. I think like when
I feel like the way you discipline me makes me think different, and it makes me think harder than if I was by myself. If I wasn't with you, I wouldn't be smart. The thing is, I feel like when I get disciplined, it makes me think a lot harder. To the point where I'm in like Planet Josiah.
You're in Planet Josiah.
Yes.
I like that, Planet Josiah.
And so it's basically like I'm in my own world, and it helps me think harder.
Right. So, do your mommy and your daddy love each other?
You guys are not romantic, but you
Whoa, hold on. We're not romantic?
Not at all.
How can you say that? What do you mean we're not romantic?
I see people. You guys can barely kiss each other.
Whoa! I'm gonna have to talk to my wife about this one. So you mean to tell me that you've seen people making out and stuff and kissing, and me and your mom don't do that at all?
No.
Huh?
You and mom are like, you're besties.
That's messed up where your 10-year-old can tell that his mom and dad are not romantic. We are romantic. I love your mom.
Not at all.
Yeah, we hold hands.
Yeah, mom's like, you're holding me too tight.
What? So we kissed goodbye and we kiss when we wake up. You don't see it.
Like...
What do you think it'll be like when you have a wife and you're a husband?
I wouldn't want to have a wife because I want to be able to make my own decisions and not be questioned about it.
So, wait a minute. So, hold on. You're 10 years old. You're 10 years old, damn it. And you're telling me that you don't want to have... You're not going to have a wife because you don't want your decisions questioned. You want to make decisions freely. And live a happy life. Is that what you're saying?
Person. I feel like I should be able to make my own decisions when I'm a lot more mentally mature. I don't feel like I should have some stranger that I...
Some stranger? If you're marrying her, she's not a stranger.
With strangers that I meet that eventually I know better.
I
don't want a random basically helping me make my decisions. I can make my decisions on my own. I don't need no one helping me.
So, but how about like loneliness and being alone? You don't fear being alone in the future?
You guys will live with me, and I have a bunch of dogs because I don't like cats.
Oh, okay. So instead of a wife, you're gonna have a bunch of dogs.
Yes, I'm gonna have Cocker Spaniels.
The worst part is that life sounds amazing. So all dogs, no wife. How about friends? No friends? You just be alone?
I'm just gonna have my best friend, and I'll give him his own room.
Wow, so you're gonna hook up your friends too?
No, I just one friend.
This kid has it all figured out.
And then we'll just like play video games and watch football games and eat pizza and stuff.
Oh my god, this sounds amazing.
And
you're 10. I'm 36. That sounds amazing. You're gonna have no wife, no one telling you what to do, right? Yeah. But there's a lot of pros. There's a lot of positive things about having a wife, isn't there? I mean, for example, I'm your dad. I think you look up to me to some degree, right?
I absolutely look up to you.
Thank you, buddy.
I would hope to be a replica of you.
Thanks, Bob. But I married your mom, right? And your mom's an amazing person. You look up to your mom, don't you?
Yeah. What?
Yeah. Well, you look up to your mom. We're both relatively happy with each other. We are romantic. We hold each other's hands.
No,
we give each other kisses.
We're getting off topic now.
Right? Like we bought a house together and we raised a beautiful young boy together. We have a dog together. We have nice cars together, right?
Yeah.
So there's things that you could build together as a team.
I don't need no team though.
Oh, you don't need no team? Is that what you're saying?
Well, get you guys out of the picture because this is my life, and you guys make your decisions. You guys go.
You guys go do whatever it is you guys want to do. So you don't need a wife, is what you're saying? Not
at all.
You are good where you are. You don't got to confer with anybody, talk to anybody about anything. But all right, then what will you think? What do you think? Like, okay, how about this? How about when we need a little Josiah? Hmm?
Like, what do you mean little? Just
Like a son. When you have a son, the whole reason for life is to prolong life and future life. There's gonna be a time in your life where you're gonna say, "I want to be a dad, and I want to teach a kid the way my dad taught me. I want to give everything that's in here to someone else."
I'm basically train my dogs.
You'll train your dogs. Come on, Saya, seriously.
But if I get to the point where I'm that lonely, I guess.
Or you're that lonely,
then I'll adopt a child, I guess.
You'll adopt. That's good. I like that. To help a person who's in need.
Because every child needs someone to raise them and show them from between good and bad.
That's right. Absolutely. And if you have that capability, if someone did it for you, you have to pass that along, right? And if you don't, what happens to it?
What do you mean I don't?
If you don't pass that knowledge, what happens to that knowledge?
It stays in my noggin.
It stays in your noggin, gets buried in the ground when you pass away, right?
So basically, someone could just go in my grave and take off my head and take my brain and they
No, it's not a sci-fi movie. They don't do that. So you don't want to have kids, right? Do you have a girlfriend I don't know about?
No, I don't like girls.
You don't like girls?
Except for mom.
Except for mom? She's the only girl that you like right now? All right. So I got one here. And you better watch it. All right? I got another one. Do your best impression of me. You can't get up. You got to stay right there. Because the camera can't catch you.
Hey, guys. It's Lyon. It's Lyon here with my friend Robert Carrasquillo and Roro.
Is that the way I sound with the voice? Hey, guys. Huh?
I'm just trying not to laugh.
Okay, go ahead. Keep going. Let's see. Let's see how badly I gotta ground you later.
Hi, my name is Lyon, and I'm here with Robert and Roro and Fluff and Nelson, and we're here at the bar.
Shit.
And me and Nelson, we're about to share this hamburger.
Share a hamburger? I don't share hamburgers. Oh. All right, do your best impression of mom.
Hi, Saya. How are you? Good. That's amazing. You know, I just donated $7 billion to charity.
What? You're just like, I'm just throwing stuff out there.
Oh my God, this boy Steven at my job, he's so annoying. He always gives me bad reports when he's the one that does this stuff. I hope he gets fired. He's the worst janitor.
I can't even say anything about that. It's true. All right, next question. What makes you happy?
Anything positive.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want me to be?
You want to get more specific with it?
What
are some things that have made you happy lately?
Getting all A's.
Getting all A's? Yeah, a good accomplishment a positive accomplishment.
I just went 16-0 in Madden.
Mm-hmm.
And I beat the Patriots in the Super Bowl.
So winning, right? Winning, winning in competition and working hard and having it pay off.
And I bought a Lamborghini on my video game.
And just flossing. Flossing makes you happy, huh?
What do you mean flossing? Like
flossing? No, not that kind of flossing. Flossing is an old person's slang for spending money or showing off with your money.
Yeah, and the game nachos have a half.
You know what they call that now? What you kids call it?
What?
Drip.
That sounds.
You've heard that before. It does sound dumb, doesn't it? It sounds very dumb.
I'm not ghetto though.
You're not ghetto. Well, just because you don't speak slang doesn't make. Just because you speak slang doesn't make you ghetto.
I don't speak slang.
You don't speak slang? I've heard you go bruh like a million times, or go let's go. That's stuff that.
Let's go is not a slang.
Yeah, I guess not. Well, slang. It's kind of like the words that kids are using. I've heard you say a couple of those things.
Like what?
Like those. Drip.
What?
If you could give $100 to a charity, what charity would you give $100 to?
Breast cancer.
Breast cancer. Is there any reason why?
Because that's what Chiki died from.
You have a family member that passed away from it, so it's important to you. I'm glad that you think about it that way. So now you know, like, if you ever had some extra money, it's a good place you can go to, right? Did you smile or laugh today? Other than right here, right now.
No, actually.
No? That's a miserable day. So you didn't laugh or smile all day? I like the face you put on when you think, by the way. Okay. It's very brooding. It's like I could feel the tension in your eyes, in your brain. What's going on in that 10-year-old brain of yours?
Oh, I do remember one time I left.
Okay.
It was funny today because one of the kids in my class...
Wash your hand in your mouth.
He threw his sweater and it got stuck on the roof.
That is pretty funny.
And then it came down and hit him on the head.
Oh, and it fell on his face. That sounds like a cartoon somewhere. What's a memory that makes you happy?
When me and you went to the donut shop. And when you went to
oh my God, this is the best day ever. I love telling this story. Tell the story.
We went to the Bulls game and we kept bullying Blake Griffin and teasing him.
We bullied the hell out of Blake Griffin. And I'm not talking about a little bit. I'm talking about that he hurt us. I'm talking about that he put his head down in the middle of the game and we were just on his ass. And because we were so close to him, you could definitely hear us.
And then Otto Porter, he hit a 3-pointer, and then you were like, I love you, you're the best, and he was talking to you.
Yeah, he was talking to us in the court.
He's like, I sure am.
Yeah, he definitely talked to us.
And
I remember that day.
Right after that game, you wanted to get some Stan's Donuts, but they had closed a couple of minutes ago. And we were like, please, it's my birthday. Could I please get some donuts? And
so what he's saying is he's condoning our lie. We lied and said it was our birthday at Stan's Donuts when we stopped from the United Center to go get some donuts because we really wanted some good donuts, and we got them. How did we get them?
I told them it was her birthday, and we just begged, and they just gave us 5 free donuts.
They gave us a bag full of Stan's Donuts. Me and my son are running down Milwaukee Avenue at closing time. So it's probably like 9:30, right? 10 o'clock or something like that.
We were like skipping.
And we were just running the skip. And it's like, Wicker Park is just going crazy. There's like bars and lounges and restaurants and everybody's walking. They're just like, what the hell? And me and him are just running with a bag of donuts like big old weirdos. Saya, what makes you awesome? I can tell you a whole bunch of things.
I don't know. I don't know what people think about me. Some people might think I'm...
Well, you know what? Here, let's see. Maria Gutierrez says, you are so cute and smart.
Thank you.
Mom says, you don't need a wife.
Exactly.
Carlos Arroyo, this is all on Facebook Live for those listening, says, you said random, LOL. Diana says, hey, Poppy. Let's see. Emma says, hi. He's adorable. Look, you got a lot of people talking about how adorable you are. You're a natural at this. Love how he took a sip of the juice to help with his thought process. So we got a lot of people watching and listening right now. What do you got to say to those people out there watching you right now, man?
You are awesome.
But the question was, what makes you awesome? What do you think?
I don't know. Even by reading those comments, I can't use anything to explain how I'm feeling. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't know if people think I'm amazing. They think I'm mediocre. Mm-hmm. They think I'm a brat. Mm-hmm. I don't know how people really feel about me.
Yeah. So then, if you don't know what people feel about you, what do you think about you?
I think that...
What do you think makes you awesome?
That I love to try new things. Mm-hmm. That I feel like I'm polite. I feel like I'm intelligent. I feel like that's all those are the only words I really can use to express how I really feel who I am.
Yeah.
Like my legacy of the 10 years I've been alive.
Legacy of the 10 years you've been alive. That's cool. I like that. So, do you mind if I add some to your list?
Of course.
I think you have a quality that I don't have. The quality is I've learned about you that when you get frustrated or upset or anxious or stressed, you have a very good way of there's a word is called mitigate. Mitigate means kind of to manage or get in between of, right? I would say better to say manage. You have a good way of managing your stress levels, Really good. You're very good with your anger, even though you might get upset and you might, get really upset. 'Cause everybody gets mad. Everybody gets mad. It's what happens with that anger that is important. And I think that you have a very good way of de-escalating and getting over some of that anger. Me, I keep it in. I just keep it in there. I stuff it in the hamper until the room starts to smell. You get what I'm saying? You let it go, you vent, you let it out, and then it slowly subsides. And that's a very, very valuable when you get older, because you're going to get mad a lot as the older you get. I also think you're very positive. You're a very happy person. A little too happy sometimes, but happy. And that's a very good quality. You're super, super smart, super intelligent. And I think you are a lot smarter than even I thought. I knew you were brilliant. But just sitting here talking to you today, man, I realized so many different things about you. It makes me very proud. Very proud of you, son. Let's have a moment here. That's good. No, get off of me. Get off of me. Don't touch me. Just kidding. I'm just kidding. Love you too, baby boy. Let me ask you a question. What makes a person smart? In your definition of smart.
It really depends on what you mean. Like book smart or street smart.
I'm glad you could tell the difference. There's definitely a difference of the two. Like, common sense, street smarts. There's, book smarts. Well, I guess it depends on you. What do you find more valuable? To be street smart or to be book smart? Both? What is your definition of smart?
Smart is knowledge that helps you learn, that helps you use something. Mm-hmm. That's not a good way to explain it.
He had to take a drink. He's like, let me reset this thought. Mm-hmm.
Being smart is having more knowledge in a certain topic than most people.
Okay. Yeah, being like, not necessarily with most people, but just being knowledgeable of a subject, right? So somebody who might know everything about race cars is smart to a degree, right? But if that same person that knows everything about race cars doesn't know how to handle his debit card and his money, that person might make him not smart, right? So it really depends on what you're talking about. What's important to you? To me, what's important is both. Being street smart and mind smart, right? If there's something you think that you were smart in, like, oh, I'm good at this, I'm smart at this, what would it be?
All sports and reading, social studies and math, history. That's stuff that I can name on the top of my head. I know that everybody has skills in multiple topics, multiple subjects. Yeah. It doesn't have to just do with school related stuff. Yeah. Like science and history. And
there's a whole different things, a bunch of things you can be smart in, right? Well, speaking of which, you speak Spanish, right?
Sí, hablo español.
Sí. I said sí so I can look like I know what he's talking about. Anyway, but you speak Spanish fluently, right? You speak it just as much as you speak English, right?
I would say a little bit less. I speak to my grandmother a lot. I would say like twice a day I speak to her. And she doesn't know English, so I have to speak Spanish. But I speak English in school, unless I'm in Spanish class, which is only for one semester, and we haven't got to Spanish class yet.
Okay, so I'm gonna ask you a question in Spanish. I'd like you to answer it in Spanish. Deal?
Yes.
Okay. Not deal was the question. You messed up already. You said yes. You messed up. You're just terrible at this.
No,
I'm kidding. All right. ¿Qué comiste hoy?
Comí carne con queso.
Carne con queso.
No me acuerdo. No me acuerdo.
That was just like 30 minutes ago. And you don't remember what you put in your stomach?
No me acuerdo.
All right, we'll come back to the Spanish off camera. I'm gonna get a Spanish book and we're gonna spend 42 hours on it straight.
Perdóname, yo no sabía. No me acuerdo qué comí porque estoy hablando y como me pongo muy feliz, me pongo a olvidar todo que está en mi mente.
Oh, okay, so you're just gonna treat me like that, right? You're gonna make me look bad by just throwing a whole conversation in Spanish, huh?
Yeah, basically.
You know what I noticed? I noticed you have a very Puerto Rican, that sounds bad, but it's true. You have a very Puerto Rican dialect. Dialect, is that the word? Accent when you speak Spanish. Did you know that?
What do you mean?
What do you mean?
Yeah.
What do you mean, papi? Huh? No, what I mean is there's different types of Spanish. For example, the Spanish from Spain, they call Castellano. And have you ever heard of Enrique Iglesias?
Yeah.
You ever notice how when he talks, he says TH sometimes instead of like corazón, he says corazón?
Yeah.
It's kind of like that. It's a different type of Spanish. It's like textbook Spanish in Spain. Right? And then Mexicans, Dominicans, Cubans, Argentinians, Venezuelans, Colombians, Puerto Ricans, we all have our own way of speaking Spanish. And when you talk, you sound like a straight Puerto Rican. Is that a good thing?
I respect it. I know some people might take it the wrong way because I like it because I love my culture so much. It's basically a compliment to me.
Woo! That's my boy! That's my boy. I like that. Tell me about that. You, my son, are Puerto Rican. How does that make you feel?
Proud.
Proud? Well, tell me something like what do you like? What do you like? Do you like the culture? What do you like about it? I mean, a lot of kids don't go around talking about I'm American. Like you like to wear the Puerto Rican jerseys and the chains and you like to have the Puerto Rican stuff in the room, the flag hung up. What do you like about that? What makes that so special to you?
It's proud because I'm very proud of stuff that makes me unique. And me and a group of people, we're all unique. That we speak Spanish. We're Puerto Rican. We have our culture. We have what we do. We have our festivals. We have our food. We have everything.
Our dancing, our singing.
I love it.
Our artists. Who's your favorite artist? Your favorite Spanish-speaking artist?
Daddy Yankee.
Daddy Yankee? Yeah, Daddy. I said that really bad, didn't I? That was really bad.
Yeah.
That was a bad impression of Daddy Yankee, wasn't it? Can you do an impression of Daddy Yankee right now?
Do what?
Do what? All right, guys. Without any further ado, guys. Well, Pop, I'd like to thank you for being on the show. Give me a huggies. You did a great job. I'm really proud of you, son.
Like cologne.
I know. I put a little cologne to smell good for you.
I tried to was so good.
There you go. You got it. Really proud of you, son. Just seeing you sitting here talking makes me realize that you're probably gonna have my job very soon. You're intelligent, you're smart, and I find you a million times like just so awesome, so awesome. It was very fascinating to get to know you a little bit better. A lot of stuff I already knew, but I learned some stuff. I learned some new stuff about you today. That's pretty interesting, right? When you can learn some new stuff about somebody you've known for many years. All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in, all of you guys out in Facebook world.
Bye.
To Lyon and the Truth. Don't forget to visit us at facebook.com/Lyon and the Truth. You can visit us at lyonandthetruth.com if you want to check out all the old videos. And don't forget the question. Go back, hit us up in the DM, slide in the DM, and answer the question. During the last episode of Lyon and the Truth, Moxie Allure owner Kristen McCaffrey talked about growing up on Chicago's Northwest Side. What park did me and Kristen first meet? You have the answer. Just hit us up in the DM, and a random person is going to win a free microblading session. That's a $700 value. Yeah, exactly. Don't forget to visit us also. December 2nd is going to be Joey Villagomez, the comedian. December 16th, Franco Lozano, the MMA fighter. December 30th, Joe Mendy and Renier Rosario from Afincao. Thank you, guys. And I'm sorry, Jessie Fuentes couldn't be with us again today. She had a medical emergency. And we're going to have her on the show. She's going to be on the show because we need to find out what's happening with La Casa Puertorriqueña and the festivals. Without any further ado, thank you, guys. Thank you, guys. I said thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys, so much for checking us out. Josiah, any last words, man?
Toodaloo.
Toodaloo, that's a good one. I got to use that. Toodaloo.